Hey, everybody. We're so glad you're joining us for another episode of the Cellar Club podcast. This is episode 132.
Drop that beat, coffee on the deck, sunshine days, June is here, let's find our pace. Cellar Club, come take a seat, good things grow one step each week. Drop that beat.
Hey, Ken. I'm so glad you're joining me to co-host this podcast.
What up?
Welcome back to your podcast.
To our podcast.
Our podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun, honestly. I love it.
Yeah, and June's here. June's
Full throttle June.
full throttle June. I would say weather, since I feel like we have something to talk about the weather almost every episode.
I think that's because we're getting older.
Oh, are you serious? At least you are this week.
I mean, I
You
just
are,
turned
right.
36 yesterday whenever this episode drops. So yeah.
So
One of us is older.
it's warmer. I like it. We've cleaned our deck and been having coffee there. Probably gonna
Love
get
that.
get some tan soon.
That makes one of us. I'm like the whitest person.
I can tan and Anna can burn.
I actually can tan, believe it or not, but I feel like it just takes a lot.
Yeah, and at that point you're just opening yourself up to either getting burnt or just
Getting skin cancer.
Getting skin cancer. I was gonna say something like that. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, not fun.
No, definitely not fun.
Yeah, and obviously I'm Filipino, if you guys don't know, so I can hold some tan. I can
Yeah,
get
you
really
can
dark.
tan for real.
Yeah, I can tan.
Okay,
for real, so.
cleaning off your deck. Did
Yeah.
you use like a pressure washer or what did you use?
No,
to
we
clean it?
we didn't get to pressure washing. We picked off everything, obviously, because I don't know if you guys seen it. Like, we have a bunch of trees right behind our house.
Yeah,
so-
your deck's like in the woods.
Yeah, basically, like it's engulfed in leaves. So a lot of it was just like sweeping the leaves, and it's crazy, all the crevices and stuff like that. So that was part of it. I put up our umbrella that got blown away by the storm one day, and it's survived. So I just
Well,
need
that's
one
good.
one more season, and maybe we could replace it next year.
Yeah.
And then just clean off the chairs and the benches and stuff like that there. So that was one of it, and I'm still contemplating if we're gonna stain it or paint it. Obviously there's a bunch of new technology now, so I need to catch up on that.
Yeah.
But I've held off the power washing because it's like last 2 weeks have been intermittently raining here and
Yep.
there too, so I was like, I can't even stain it or paint it yet. So that's kind of like where we're at. I like outdoors, but once the bugs and mosquito come out, I don't like outdoors.
Yeah.
So
You
I'm
gotta
still-
solve for that somehow because it's very unpleasant. But
yeah. So and then so that's the thing.
well, I am wanting a pressure washer for your birthday years old. So that is my current obsession. My dad has one that I have
Okay.
borrowed, but I'm
Right.
like, okay, I love pressure washing and I need to get my own one. But
Yeah,
not
that is
yet.
true.
I haven't gotten one yet because I can borrow one.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun tool. Me and JC always tries to fight over it.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah, but also it's just on a really hot day doing it. So that's it. So have you guys done anything like outdoor cleaning up? I'm sure you've done it already.
Yeah, we have. It's funny because we live in this cool kind of historic part of my little hometown, and so the trees in our neighborhood are
Right,
huge.
they're big, yeah, they're really
100
tall, yeah.
years old kind of trees. So our tree in our backyard is very magical, and we love it. Our neighbor's tree is even bigger, and it's a different kind of tree, and it like drops these little snaky looking things.
Oh yeah, kind of like the string bean looking ones.
Oh my gosh, yes. And they are terrible. But basically, we totally overhauled the backyard, cleaned everything up, got the garden planted, did all this stuff, and pressure washed everything, our patio. And anyway, we did all kinds of stuff out there like maybe a month ago. And then there was a big storm and it just knocked like so much of that out of the tree. And it was just everywhere.
Everywhere again.
Yeah. So we need to like, which we've kind of cleaned it up, but we need to kind of do another once over of everything because they're just, you know, it's all in the landscaping and like,
Right.
it's so annoying.
It's like it's out of place looking.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's easy to like use a whatever, like to blow off the patio
the
or
blower,
whatever,
yeah.
but you have to like pick it out of the landscaping
Yeah,
by
because
hand.
it's stuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause it's stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
annoying.
do you guys
But-
have acorns?
We don't in our immediate like area,
Okay.
but we have them around here. Yeah.
I've always thought that was cool to be
Yeah.
in the backyard, but I don't think. I mean, I've seen them, but it wouldn't be too fun if you like to go bare feet in your
Right.
yard. and stuff
Our
like
tree is a linden tree. Actually, it's a German linden, and
that. What's that mean? Okay, that's
that's
just
the type.
name.
Well, remember in Berlin we were on the Avenue of Lindens.
So that was
Yeah. Yeah, all the trees on the street are linden. Yeah, it's the same. Anyway, though,
the
it has these little flowers and like these things that turn into like really small little hard BBs. So that like in the fall kind of you'll get a lot of that and have to clean all that up from the yard, but at least they're not the gumballs. You know about those? The
No.
gumball trees?
Aren't the
They're like
gumbo-
spike balls.
Oh yeah.
Those are the worst. We don't have those, thankfully.
Because when they harden, they're actually pointy.
Oh yeah. My friend Brooke calls those character building trees because you have to go and deal with them all the time.
That and the like the cotton tree, like the cotton.
Oh
something
yeah,
like that, 'cause it's
cottonwoods.
Like, yeah, because it
Yeah.
gets stuck everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm allergic
so-
to those and they're everywhere here too. So
well,
so fun. But
So-
anyway, see,
so
this
there's
is
that.
this
There's
is
the update.
mid-30s conversation here. It's
yeah, and
the
I'm
weather
sure-
and the yard.
I'm sure
trees.
everybody's in some sort of summer prep backyard cookout kind of vibe.
Yeah. If you have an
used-
outdoor space, now is the time to
I
be.
used to not like it, but but now I like to like go there. I bought
Mm-hmm.
this I guess I don't know what they're called. Like it's just a zero gravity lawn chair or something like that.
Oh,
that has
uh-huh.
like bungee cords, like when you're leaning back.
Yeah.
So I just do that there. Stare at that until I get hot and sticky, and I'm like, all right, I'm over.
You're
it.
like, okay, I'm cooked.
Yeah,
That's enough.
So
Yeah.
so let's talk about that's June, right? I think that we're talking about the June vibes. Update, how has June been for our business?
Yeah.
Obviously, like we look at it as like in a whole year kind of sense, but also like we talk about new month, new beginning, last month of the quarter. Let's see, how do you feel June has gone off to its start?
Yeah. I think for me it's off to a good start because
Okay.
I kind of like we've been talking about lately. I'm in growth mode this year,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of what I've done so far has been preparing to like really take off.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has held true so far, and I've been able to really finally take a huge bite out of photographing and listing, which I don't know, I guess I kind of felt like I'd been procrastinating that a little bit.
Well,
but
also to preface, you're a batch worker.
I am a batch worker.
So when you feel like
Yeah.
you haven't done it in 2 to 3 days, there's just a huge chunk of
Right.
assignment to do. But also the result is like, boom, your listing
Yes.
goes up.
For
and
me,
jumps.
I'm way more effective that way. But, over the last couple months, there's
Mm-hmm.
just been things that I needed to do that were kind of bigger projects. Like I did a whole inventory check,
Mm-hmm.
and I started working with a consignment client, or technically, I guess, 2 consignment clients for the first time since I've been in Illinois. So there were just things I had to get in a row in order to be effective whenever I did a big batch. So I was kind of strategically procrastinating this part because I knew it would all go much faster and smoother if I had these certain things set up in advance. So that's the good news, is that now I'm in the territory of just like blasting through listings, and I should be like sourcing a healthy amount again by the end of the month. So so far it's been great though. One of my consignment clients, I had already like researched everything and logged it kind of along the way as I was doing my inventory check and getting my cross-listing stuff squared away. And so I finally, in the last 2 days, did their entire batch of stuff, got everything photographed, everything listed, and I think I've sold 4 items already in like 24 hours, which is good because I'm trying to price things a little more aggressively now. Yeah. So far, that is going really well, and the carrot I'm dangling in front of myself is sourcing, because I have been kind of on a mainly banned from sourcing except for like a yard sale here and there.
Right.
So I'm excited to be in the right position to comfortably just be like, okay, now I can go like deep into something again. And that's, you know, I've been like really like craving that, and I haven't let myself do it because I need to get this other stuff done, you know?
Yeah, but and also too, now that you're saying that, you know, you have to also remind yourself you're a one-person operation.
Yeah.
And then you have inventory.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
And I think that is again, we know it for a fact that sourcing is the most fun.
It is.
It's the most fulfilling. It's the most instant gratifying activity.
The most dopamine. Yeah.
Right? But also, if you have stuff unlisted, that's actually technically the worst thing you can do to your business.
And it's stressful. And also, like, I have made the mistake before of when I had a big consignment project of just going, okay, well, I'm just going to focus on this and only list this stuff until I get it done because I just wanted to get it completed. But then there's like this weird gap in your listing and in your business flow of inventory that fully belongs to you, and you make on average, probably at least back then, I would make more money on that stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, great. All of my new inventory for this month is stuff that I'm only keeping part of the take, you know, and that's not good either. So I've learned to not do that, which is partially why I feel like I've been going more slowly this time around to get everything listed, because I'm trying to keep a healthy influx of stuff that I just own outright. And still, you know, and also be really picky and only list the stuff that's really worth it.
Right.
For the consignment clients. So I think it's going well. But anyway, all that to say, June is off to a good start. I'm happy with it. And it's not like, I don't feel like I have an overwhelming amount of work to do either, which is very refreshing. So how about you? How's June going for you so far?
June's doing good. The start is doing... I just had to, you know, let's talk about feelings, because I felt it was good. I felt it's off to a great start, but I just wanted to pull up the numbers, and I am 1.6 better compared to last month's opening.
1.6%?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That's better, right? And again, for somebody that's in maintaining replenishing mode, that's the goal. I don't want a big, you know, I don't want I mean, as much as I want a big jump in sales, that just means a big gap in inventory that needs to be replenished.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the you know, the rhythm that we're trying to maintain.
Yeah.
Sell 10, list 10, sell 20, list 20. Ultimately, that is the I guess that's the me and Glenn used to call it the retirement plan. Ultimately, that was the retirement plan.
Yeah.
But also, so the other thing that we added on June is our you know, pretty soon, me and JC is going back to the Philippines, and we are gonna spend time with family. And this is not a just straight up vacation going to resorts like we used to do. If it happens, it happens, but none's planned. A lot of this is because of my dad's 60th birthday, and my mom's 60th birthday coming up. So we're just gonna celebrate it together. So we know we're gonna be out for 3 weeks. Let me just put it out there, like, you know, cause travel and trying to get back in the groove. Pretty cool timing that one of our friend's daughter is back in town, and this is her last basically summer. She's gonna be a senior soon, and she hit us up like last week. It's like, hey, I don't know if you guys need some help. And you know, I'm home for the summer, and I was like, bet. I was like, perfect timing. So, you know, we are currently you know, training and having her help us do some pre-packing and teaching how to fulfill orders. So those are gonna be the two main tasks. But we've realized is like, wow, like, you know, like when me and Jayshi work together, that there's two people working, right? And then now there's three people working.
Yeah.
Golly, it's just so much more. Like so much more stuff.
It seems like greater than the sum of the parts in a way.
Oh, 100%, right? Like, it's like, okay, because if you think about it, right, like if you're by yourself, you're working an hour, that's an hour worth. But there's three working in 3, I mean, that's 3 hours done in an hour.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
magic.
Yeah, that's an exponential effect, which is pretty good. So that's gonna be a really game changer for a business. Our goal is to have the best July ever without us being here.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Because in the past, like, you go to the Philippines fairly regularly, but I'm sure you've done every iteration, right? Sometimes you turn the store off. Sometimes you have someone shipping. Like, how have you done it before?
Yeah, so before I've had to, like, we've shut the store down. Obviously not a good, you know, not a good thing for
no
our
revenue
pocket.
sucks, yeah.
Right. And then we've done extended handling time, like, you know,
like really
2 weeks,
extended,
3 weeks out, right? And then before, what was the issue is authenticity guarantee you cannot extend.
Oh, right.
So we had to take down authenticity guarantee listings, which is over half of our store.
All your higher value stuff,
right.
too.
Oh yeah. So that sucks. And then we've had our friends ship for us once a week, so we put it like a 7-day handling time, but still AG's still not there because it's too long.
Right.
So this time would be kind of like the perfect scenario of having the store run, and obviously we're not going to be so busy that we cannot, you know, communicate with her or look at our store, try to kind of like do some stuff. So that would be the ultimate goal. So that's kind of like how our June is trending and it's going to be set up for. Obviously, you know, if the sales are there, it's there, but the June is really going to be like the kind of like going to be the dictating factor of how our business is going to be for the rest of the year, because obviously we can talk more about it later, that, you know, we're trying to build a life around the business, not I think am I saying it backwards? I'm trying to build a business around the life that we're trying to create. Does that make more sense, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the
sense.
ultimate goal.
Yeah.
To re-engineer the business
Yeah.
to fit the life that we're trying to create. So.
Yeah, I feel like that is an interesting switchback, right? Because initially when you're like, oh, wow, if I have a business like this, then I have the opportunity to create a life more so, right? So it's like, first you have to just push really hard and create the business, but now, like, you have a business to work with.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, but that doesn't mean that the rest of your life has to revolve around it.
No.
But it's still the vehicle that allows you to do the whole other side, right?
Which is very interesting. Yeah. I think that is the, you know, we've talked about this, like, work 24/7 for 3 years.
Yeah, right.
That mentality. Obviously, when we started, our life was our business.
Yeah.
And then over time, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
It is sustainable enough to create a revenue stream to support yourself, to, you know, to have a
to, like, survive,
income.
right?
Yeah, right,
it's like, okay, great.
Right,
but that's not the actual life you're after.
Yeah,
it's just the first step.
Right, and then
Yeah.
now, right? Because like what, like the I've heard this. Like, what if I become I get like a millionaire, or win the lottery or something like that, and most people just lose it because they don't
Yeah.
have a life that they've wanted to create, or
Right.
they're not creating a life that supports their passion.
Like, what's your
their dream.
purpose? Yeah.
Yeah, and then a lot of times they just spend it on things that ultimately don't really matter.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what we're trying to reinvent. Like, we're not getting a giant lump sum of money, but I know in total, we're getting a chunk of it yearly or monthly.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's kind of like the challenge, and I think we can dive into our topic for today. I mean, we're easing through this conversation with, I guess, that caveat of there are things that it feels like you are limitless and boundaryless. Is
Yeah.
that a word?
Yes.
But to a point, you gotta create those certain parameters that ultimately will keep you on track to achieve
Yeah.
things that you want, not what society wants, not what external factors want or dictate you to do.
That's so true. Yeah, like boundaries around your business or around just your bandwidth and your time in general. That's what really protects, the things that you value the most, and nobody sets those for you. So you have to be like the one, right, to call those shots and then actually set those boundaries and then continue to enforce them. So this is funny because we talked about this as a topic a little bit, obviously, when we were planning, what are we going to talk about today? And it reminded me immediately about November. And
Saying no to things.
yes, I kept calling it November. Like, no, I was so like exhausted in November, and I'm like, okay, I just have to be like, no, I'm just putting a ban on like everything and taking a break. And I really did effectively do that, and it was really helpful. But I don't want to be so exhausted by this November that I feel like I have to do that again. So one of the ways that I kind of got ahead of that for this year, I went through, I write like everything down in my planner physically on paper. And so I went back through my planner from 2025, and I like identified things because, in the moment, like there are plenty of times where in the moment I felt a little overwhelmed or a lot overwhelmed just in life because it was busy or whatever. But I felt like it was helpful to look back and see in hindsight, not just in the moment, but also in hindsight, do I still agree that that was overwhelming, and
Right.
what was overwhelming about it, right? So I went back and kind of isolated a few commitments throughout the year and just decided this year I'm saying no to those things because it was overwhelming and I don't want to burn out, right? So I thought, okay, I'm just going to, off the top, before anyone asks me to do any of these things, I'm going to decide in advance
You already
that I'm
made
going
the
to say
decision.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
already decided, right? So like, for example, one of those things was not doing as big of a garden this year because I did a really big garden last year, which I really enjoyed, but
Right.
maintaining it was kind of a lot, and I didn't really get that much out of it, like yield wise, because our
Right.
soil kind of sucked. So I'm like, okay, this year I'm just going to do 2 garden beds really well instead of like 5.
Right.
So that was one way to kind of just do a little less, I guess. And then I also had a volunteer position that I did last year that I said I'm not doing that this year. And I also had a little side gig that I worked for a friend of mine every once in a while to help support their business, which was really cool. But honestly, like, I should have been putting those hours into my own business.
It
I
took
was
you
making
off of your business.
yeah, it cost me I could have probably made more money in my own business during those hours, but also just the focus and being pulled
Right.
in so many directions
Right.
and also having to block off those times. I mean, those were all times that I couldn't use for any other purpose. I couldn't rest. I couldn't commit to, things in my own personal life or like have like a casual weekend just at home. Like all of it was like booked up, right? So I just said, okay, I got to say no to that this year. And I'm happy to report that here we are, basically halfway through the year, and those have all been really good decisions without like just canceling my whole life and saying I can't commit to anything, right? Like I was
Right.
really pretty strategic about that, but I have to hold those boundaries now, right? And through the summer, it's a little less structured, so it's easy to get your schedule all cluttered up again or your commitments all cluttered up again. So, yeah, for me, it's like, okay, I got to think about this through the lens of my personal life and just me being the master of my own schedule, but also, and bandwidth, but also for my business. Like, what am I saying no to and what are you saying no to that's going to be strategic and helpful,
Yeah.
helpful in the long run?
Yeah, and I think there's kind of like two angles where we're coming from here, and continuing the conversation of, I'm on trying to just maintain, replenish my store, run a more efficient business, and then Anna on the growth mode.
Yeah.
So I think there are similarities that we both have to say no to. Perfect example is defining a clear boundary of your time and commitment to the other external things that you used to do.
Yeah.
Right? I think when you said, like, and this is what I tell people, it's like, and there's a connotation of saying no to things that you used to do being called, oh, you're quitting on us, oh, you're quitting on this. And for people pleasers, if you guys are listening, it's
They are.
such,
They're listening.
it's such a big guilt factor.
Yeah.
The self guilt that we're assuming that's what people are thinking.
Yeah, or
'Cause-
that you're letting someone down,
Right, because
or
it's
whatever.
both true, right? It's both true that yes, some are thinking about that,
Yeah,
and the other side is yes, you're making it up.
yeah.
You're right.
You're just
Yeah,
You're just
make-
deciding and like that's what they're thinking. You're just
Right.
convincing yourself that that's true. And
Yes.
honestly, like if they are, I mean, they might be. That's the thing.
Right.
But really,
and it's fine and it's okay.
yes, like people pleasing is actually, and I say this with all the love in my heart and as a recovering people pleaser, like you're too obsessed with other people's perception of you.
Yep. Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
of course, a lot of people at least still have it in their heart where like they genuinely don't want to let other people down.
Right.
But you're
Right.
like driving anxiety and guilt about that is because you don't want them to think that you're letting them down.
Yeah.
Or you don't want them
exactly.
to judge you for it. And it's like, let them judge. Like,
Right.
they
And-
don't,
and-
it's actually their problem if they're judging you about it because they
That's
don't know your
true.
life and they don't deserve to make decisions about how you spend your time. So, yeah, it's hard to like shift that thinking.
Yeah,
when you're a
and
people
again,
pleaser.
coming from a ultimate accountability kind of person,
Mm-hmm.
you're the one that set the precedence anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're the one that said yes to it every month, every year you were going to
Oh,
do
yeah.
it. So, in a way, you've kind of trained their expectation that this is what you're going to be outputting.
Yep.
And again, my thing is it's just a better and clear communication to these people if you truly don't want for them to think about it. And obviously, I'm not saying like, I don't care what they think about me. It's more of like, well, I'm trying to transition to a different phase in my business, trying
Yeah.
to dance to a different rhythm. It's just basically saying like, hey, I can't dance cha-cha slide with you anymore. I gotta do waltz with my business.
yeah.
And if you frame it that way, they're not gonna think like, oh, Ken's quitting dancing. No,
Right.
like Ken's is just trying to learn a different dance with a different dance partner.
Yeah. And you can't do everything all the
No,
time.
and that point, if you do it right, and this is my always joke, the person that tries to please everybody turns out to be a clown, because that's what a clown does.
Yeah.
And if you
seriously.
guys have seen what a clown looks, they look like a clown. So that's my dig, like, man, you're just clowning right now. You just look like a clown because you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But again, with proper communication to the people you care, you just tell them. And
Yeah.
then that's when, again, you define your boundary and you set the priority that will ultimately accomplish the things that you want, to do. So reeling it back into business, tactical stuff, what are things that you have established prior, Anna, or you're gonna establish more this month, considering end of Q2, Q3's coming. You know what happens in Q3? Q4's right behind the corner.
Yep.
Q3 is gonna be a kind of like a slump. Summer happens. Is it because the whole summer really is the reason why eBay's algorithm don't make sales, or is it because a lot of people usually check out on summer?
Yeah. I mean, we can always argue about the summer slowdown.
Wait, we don't have Glenn as the
I know,
the,
it feels
the
wrong to argue
tiebreaker
it without him.
Without Glenn, yeah. So we will
But-
bring him back in just for summer slowdown.
But yeah, as far as like saying no to things, like, yeah, and this is the delicate balance, right? Because on one hand, summer is my favorite time of year, and I want to make a point to enjoy my life a lot in the summer. And at the same time, I'm not trying to just put my business on the back burner. And
Right.
and like you're saying, like if you want to have a successful second half of the year, it's probably not a good idea to put your business on the back burner all summer. So some things I'm saying I have said no to already in June. Well, one I mentioned already, which is sourcing until I'm totally on top of, listing, getting through my consignment client, all that stuff. So I'm well on my way to that one. I will be able to not, I mean, once I am sourcing in earnest again, I will also be saying, okay, I'm going to list this batch before I go out again, right? Keep myself accountable for that and not have a death pile by the end of the summer. Another thing that I have said no to, which this is like kind of a joke, but not really, the last 2 years in a row, we have adopted a baby tiny kitten, which sounds really silly, but is very consuming. And like, there's just all these logistics to deal with a new kitten. And I actually did have the opportunity in the last few weeks for another new kitten. And we're like, no, we're tapping out at 3 cats. That's already one more cat than we would actually like to have. We generally only want to have 2. But, Wampus just insisted on being adopted last year. So we made an exception. Now we have 3 for the time being. But one of our cats is a lot older. So unfortunately, we won't have 3 cats forever, probably. But anyway, this year we had to say, absolutely not. We're not adopting any more pets. Because we just know like the toll on our bandwidth for that, right?
Right.
So that was kind of a funny one, but also like literally did take up so much of my time and attention the last 2 summers, because it always started like in
In the
June.
summer.
Yeah, in May or June. So that was actually kind of a joke, but kind of a real one.
Right.
That's not that was kind of indirectly impacting my business, but I just thought of another one too. What was it about my business that I'm saying no to? I think just. Oh, yeah,
What
go
about
ahead.
sourcing certain particular items? Like a
Yes.
category that you're trying to exclude, or like
Yeah.
another source?
Not a category. I am saying no to basically borrowing money for sourcing. I've done that for like really big hauls before, and that's fine. And there's a place for that, I think, but I'm not doing that. I'm trying to do more like just totally cash flowing through the rest of this year just to keep
Okay.
that in check and keep it in balance. And also though, I have set higher standards for like my ASP,
Right.
and
So you gotta
I'm
stick to
sticking to those
ASP.
guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sticking to those guns, and that's going to be difficult. I think I'm going to have to keep that really in the front of my mind when I get back to sourcing in earnest again.
That's true. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
I think for us is obviously the big thing that we're gonna say no to is sourcing for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Unless we run out of inventory to list.
Right.
And that's a great problem to have. And I totally remember like Glenn always brings it up. I don't bring it up because I don't want to do it again. Glenn always said like, man, like you were so strict before that everything needs to be listed within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it was funny if you guys follow me back then, 27, 18, and 19, that we would be going to sleep at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., and just giving a thumbs up like everything got listed, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was there's a point that you have to do it. And again, I'm not saying it has to be that extreme, but currently now what we have done is no sourcing until this. So what we've done is, as soon as you go down to our basement, there's a black foldable table, just tables that you see on Walmart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That plastic foldable table, that if it's filled with inventory, we're not sourcing.
Just have to peek down the stairs. Is
right. Like if it's filled with, like, no, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing you see once you walk in the basement.
Yeah.
Well, like just being a clever guy I am, I would just hurry up and list those and just put it on a box.
Yeah.
Like a XL Home Depot box. Well, we counted yesterday. We had like 8 Home Depot boxes just on the floor, not put away.
Not actually cataloged or...
Because this guy thinks listing is listing.
Right.
But, my inventory manager...
Yeah.
Now gets slowed down on shipping and fulfillment because she has to dig through Home Depot XL box to find that item. They're not 100% prep yet. They're not, ready to ship out.
They're half done, really.
Yeah, they're listed, but they're not ready to be fulfilled, basically, right?
Yeah.
Which is not really ideal because I just punted the work.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, we just are touching the product more
times,
because instead of after taking photo, it gets bagged and tagged.
Yeah.
Right, and at the end of the day, it gets put in their, cubby holes, basically. And we haven't done that. So we're gonna expand the boundary to say no sourcing until it's put away.
Yeah.
Right? It don't matter if it's listed. The keyword now is put away.
Yeah.
Skewed, tag, put location.
Yeah.
So that is the big no about that in the process of how we're doing things now. And then hopefully again, and the thing is, all this no's that we're trying to create are just habits that we're trying to build.
Yeah. And
I don't know about you. You, Anna, had some, you got some experience with behavioral building habits and stuff like that. I don't know what's the numerical number that it takes for you to build habits. 7, 21. I think for me, it's multiplied by 10. Yeah. Like I have the hardest time building a habit.
Yeah.
So if the general consensus can build a habit in 21 days, I need
210 days.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I kind of feel the same way. Like 21 days, it's like, okay, yeah, then you might not just like outright forget to do it, but
I usually just
committed,
cheat to get to 21 days and then just fall apart in the 22nd.
Yeah, right, because you're like, okay, I made it over the finish line. And it's like, no, that didn't actually accomplish, the long-term habit or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think another thing I think about was saying no. I mean, I think about the different activities of running my store as like, is this an income producing activity or not?
Right.
Like, for example, we always say, right, you make money when you buy. However, that is only true with the asterisk of, yes, if it gets listed, right? And so doing things like my inventory check, that's why it's hard for me to commit to doing stuff like that. Because I'm like, well, overall, I'm going to run a tighter ship if I do this, but it's going to be like a lot of time spent on something that's not directly income producing. Right. So I think that, hopefully I am correct in the way that I've set this up, but all this year as I've been preparing to grow and, moving towards that some more, I have actually decided to do some things like that because now for the whole summer, if I can just focus on the income producing activity and shipping, right? It's like fulfillment and listing. and then sourcing that has listing directly closely attached to it every time, right? Every round. And that's really like the lean and mean, like, basics of running the business and like of building momentum. So like I'm probably not going to spend time just like, I don't know, it's like refolding the laundry, right? Like
Right.
what's the point? Like have everything as efficient as possible in your processes so that you can focus on what's income producing and then actually be off the clock the rest of the time. So,
That's the
you know,
goal.
maybe not wasting time. I've wasted time before, certainly, like researching or looking at auction listings or
Right.
whatever. And it's like, I'm just going to be more targeted and try to remember and try to ask myself at every turn, like, okay, is this income producing or is this direct fulfillment? And if it's not, maybe the summer is not the time for that, you know? So you're just doing the most important things really well, but not doing the extra side projects that kind of indirectly help.
Right.
I feel like I've done enough of that already this year to be like, okay, now I just need to see how the business flows having done that stuff, but without having to do more of it.
Yeah, that is totally true.
Because those can just become distractions.
Yeah, yeah,
Side
right.
quests.
Right. And I like what you said about like the inventory check, right?
Yeah.
How, you know, like I'm just thinking out loud. How often should we do it, right? Especially now that you are doing multi-platform,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I
Now-
hadn't done it in years, so it was a huge pain.
Right. So that's the thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
and we've had kind of like a unwritten rule that we do it, you know, quarterly,
Yeah.
and to a point, right? I want to do it monthly, like not the whole store monthly, but
Just
what
a
if you
few.
break down 30% of your store every month, right?
Yeah.
That means it's still you're checking through it quarterly.
Yeah.
And or maybe by brand, right? Let's just do by brand or by category, and just different ways to partition it better because, you know, like multi-quantity listings, right? If you cancel an order, it doesn't get added back.
Yep.
That's the biggest pain on eBay.
Yep.
Returns or cancellations sometimes can, sometimes
Yeah.
don't.
Sometimes
There's
it.
no
Yeah.
there's no rule, right? Like there's no one way. I just wish there's one. Like what if we just say it doesn't?
It never
That-
does. Period.
right?
Yeah.
Right. What
Because
that way.
sometimes you check the box, automatically relist this,
Yeah,
and
right.
it still doesn't. Yeah.
And then the thing is, it takes a while for it to pop out.
Yeah.
Right? So at that point, I'm gone doing something else to wait and see if it actually got relisted. So I'm saying that I feel like we have to say no to like procrastinating inventory checks.
Yeah.
To
Or
a
waiting
point-
till it's like a giant project. Like,
the giant project usually gets pushed to
yeah.
you know
It's
away
way more disruptive, too, once you
until
finally do it.
it's really detrimental, right? But you know, like section your workspace, right? We talk about doing it by category, by brand. JC starting doing it by rack. That's a way less I guess task, right? So you just do one rack, and the other night she did it, and this is just not that eBay's fault. This is our fault because you know how we hide back stock that we don't add
Yeah.
to quantity, and she found like 10 pairs like that, and I'm just like, wait, and
Yeah.
then relisting it just felt like it jumped our listing value. Like she listed 10,
Yeah,
but,
right.
you know, that's like, so it's just discovering a death pile that you didn't know you had. So I think that is the thing, that you have to find something in your operation, in your business, that you are trying to bulk project. And as you've heard Anna say, it's not good. Don't wait a year or multiple years to do
Right.
it, because then what happens is if you do it in bulk and you accomplish it, right? Let's say you take 3 to 4 weeks to do it, right?
That's a whole month.
Not
yeah.
not trying to kill yourself, but after that, you might be left with hundreds of items that are unlisted Now you're gonna have to take time to relist those items, which are not the most fun because
Right.
either you can't sell similar anymore, you literally have to start a new listing.
Yeah.
And
Right,
nothing's more
because it's
frustrating.
too old. to-
Right, nothing's
yeah.
more frustrating than having to retake the
That's
same
right.
photo twice.
I have like 3 bins of that stuff
That you have to do
waiting
it.
in my queue right now. Yeah, things that, I had no idea they had fallen off, but I hadn't done a check in
Right.
so long.
Yeah.
But, this is interesting. Something that you have talked about doing that I don't normally do, but I will probably start doing is like whenever you process new inventory,
Right.
basically pulling a half full bin off the shelf and adding
Oh,
it
yeah.
to that bin. That would be a good time to do the check on just half the bin of what's in
Oh,
there.
that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yes, because
I-
you're not checking a full bin. That's half a bin. So
Right.
you're going to skew that bin anyway.
Right.
You're going to add location. So let's say, so this is how it looks like, right? So you take photos of 10 items
Yep.
that would fit on the half bin, let's say bin 1.
Yeah.
You go to your listing, you check all the bin 1 skew
Right.
if it's still there.
Right. And
or
you just
what's not there.
then you're checking less,
Yeah.
but you're staying really current. And then at the end of the quarter, all the things you didn't add items to, those items probably need to be marked down or something if you haven't
Right.
touched that bin all quarter.
Yeah.
But B, you now know, okay, these are the ones that I haven't done an inventory check on. So because I love to consolidate bins.
Right.
But the way that my inventory is stored now, I don't want to have to like shift things around constantly on the
Right,
shelves.
just leave it there, right? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
so-
you don't want to create empty bins. You just
Yeah.
want to fill up bins.
Right. And I can still consolidate some of the time, but I'm just saying, like, if you're going to be doing your kind of filing away new inventory that way anyhow, it makes sense to tag this task onto that process
Right,
instead
yeah.
of doing a whole entire
easier.
other project of inventory checking.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that works if you're doing a bin system, right?
Yeah.
Because all you care is just fill up the bin and then you're after the next bin.
Right.
Right. If you're running and this is the downside of running an individual SKU because you literally have to scoot everything down,
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I don't like.
Yeah, and I don't do individual SKUs for that
Yeah.
reason,
Yeah.
really. Because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, knowing which bin it's in is good enough. The
Right,
bins
right,
are
right,
clear. It doesn't look like the other stuff in the bin,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
can
yeah,
just
that's-
identify it right away.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, and
Yeah.
and I guess one of the tips is like, don't put similar looking items in the same
Yeah.
bin.
Right.
That's the thing that we've done. And we've never
However,
made
I will say, when I have multiple quantities, I do try to put all those in the same bin.
oh yeah, same
Because-
items. Yeah, same items. 100%.
Because it's like, then you have, I don't know, then
No.
your custom SKU is a mess if you're like, there are 10 different bins because I put one in each. Like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
don't
you
do
can't
that.
do that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Don't do that.
Yeah. So
But-
I think we made a really good discussion and shared you our basically what's in our brain, our scrambled brain in June. I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
that's what I feel like.
Well, I feel like June, being the entryway to the summer in a way, feels like it's a crossroads where you're like,
Yeah.
am I going hard in my business? Am
Yeah.
I taking a huge break? Did
Right.
I plan for either one of those
Right.
things? Like,
So either way, I feel like you gotta use this month
yeah,
to plan for that, whatever you're doing, right?
think
Whether
so,
you're
too.
taking off, whether you're going harder, a
Yep.
better foundation, taking off and going harder, is still
helps
the best.
you either way.
Yeah, it's still the best idea.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's kind of like the point that we're trying to make across, even with me and Anna's contrasting strategy or where we want the year
Yeah.
to end and go, it still applies to both different to both strategies to establish boundaries, learning how to say no to different things that could be ultimately just a distraction to
Yeah.
your ultimate goal, and I guess sharpening your system. Don't wait till later. I think that's the thing. Right? The killer of momentum is pushing a task and punting it later.
Yeah.
So there you have it. And talking about tasks, don't wait until it's too late to get your book straight. So, oh, I just rhymed.
Wow, what is even happening?
Oh, wow, man.
Oh.
Don't wait until it's too late.
Don't wait to get your books straight.
To get your book straight.
That was a triple.
Yeah,
I love
try
it.
out Seller Ledger. And make sure you follow them at Seller Ledger on Instagram and sellerledger.com.
Also, even though we're talking about saying no in this episode, if you are a Central or generally an Illinois reseller, on June 14th, the Central Illinois Resellers Group is like Seller Circle is doing a behind the scenes bins tour, like at a Goodwill bins location. So I'm going to drop that link in our show notes also. I'm going to go, and a lot of awesome sellers from that group are going to be there, and it's going to be really cool to see the behind the scenes of their operation. Cool. And of course we're going to source at the bins after. Like,
learning different operations is going to be cool.
Yeah, so please come out to that. Say yes to that if you're like local-ish to Central Illinois.
Alrighty. We will see you in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.
Every favor, every little thing. Now I'm learning what freedom means, protecting the space in between. Not every open door is the one you're meant to walk through. Say no to the noise, say yes to your voice. You can't build your future trying to please everybody. One life, one lane, one reason to stay true. The best things grow when you make room. Hey, when you make room. Oh, some are growing fast this year. Some are maintaining what they built right here. Different paths, but the lesson stays. Intentional wins beat busy days. Listed 5